Good evening, everybody. It is your favorite Titans fan. It is Mr. First Down, and that means it is time for Fanboys Unleashed. And boy, do we have a good one for you today. We have the great Nick Bodkins joining us tonight, and I cannot be more excited about it as we cut through another week of this off-season NFL stuff. The NBA is over. You might as well hang out with us for a little bit. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, get in front of whatever screen you're watching us on, and let's have ourselves a show. He is a big believer in the ice bath and sauna routine. He is a member of the Green Bay Packers fan base, another Packers fan. He is the Mac Daddy of podcasting. He is that guy, Nick Bodkins. Nick Bodkins, welcome to Fanboys Unleashed. I am happy to have you here.
It's about damn time, Sam. I mean, Jesus. I turn on your show. You got 5 fucking Packer fans before me. And it's just, the disrespect. And it's just like, I thought we were friends, and you got other, you don't turn on to my podcast. I'm not talking to some other Titans fan. You know what I mean? You would feel offended if I was, you know what I mean? If I go for Titans news or Titans anything, I'm talking to you, but not you backstabbing son of a gun. You're lucky you met my demands. The garage beers here and the water flowing and the Twizzlers have been great in the back room.
Well, good. I'm glad that's all working out. Garage beers, just a bunch of 24-pack of the Natty Daddies and Busch Light, just piled as far as the eye can see.
Oh no, the real garage beer.
Yeah, no,
You never had real garage beers?
No, I don't. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's my new favorite beer right now. It is sponsored. Travis Kelce,
Okay.
The Kelce brothers put it together, and it's just literally called Garage Beers.
All right,
check them out. I'm surprised they don't sell them there.
Okay, I'm about to check it out.
They have original.
They might, dude. I'd have to check it out. I mean, there's like 18 breweries here for God's sake.
They have original. They have original, and then they have a lime. I prefer the original. It's a good just drinking beer. Like, you're not going to get drunk off of it, but if you're at the river, the lake, or whatever, and you just want to drink, it's just a good beer to be housing out in the golf course.
Sure. Yeah. No. I feel it. I'm gonna have to try to find it. I'm sure it's here somewhere. If it's
check your local grocery store,
widespread. Mm-hmm. Yeah, available now at Walmart. But anyway,
I'm not sponsored by them, but if they ever
in the middle of this,
they ever wanted to sponsor me, they could.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, I talked to a brewery as well. Sorry, something was happening up on the stairs. Oh, it's my kids. All right. Anyway, so it is my kids. Anyway, so we move into this, silly off-season thing, your favorite subject or whatnot. But before that, I'll give you some little puff questions here. So how does a man of your stature, a Missourian, the show me state guy, become a fan of the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, really, man. I grew up in the mid '90s. My dad was a Packers fan, and that's when Brett Favre and Reggie White were playing. So, and I just don't know how you cannot. I mean, we can all say the Brett Favre outside the football field is very questionable character, but inside those white lines, he was a hell of a football player. And he was so fun to watch. And so I kind of just developed just the aura of Green Bay. The fact that they don't have an owner, they're owned by fans. They're this, the smallest market in all of sports, really, this small town in Wisconsin. That's just kind of what enriched into me in Green Bay. Then Right. And so like the Rams weren't here yet, and then the Rams came obviously and left. I was never a Chiefs.
Right.
I kind of got behind the greatest show on turf for a little bit. But then like all the Rams fans, like there was like they just came out like people jumped on the bandwagon. But I was never a Chiefs fan really. But I've always just been a diehard Packers fan. Mainly I just like the culture, how everything's built. And they had some, we've had some good runs and good players along the ways.
Absolutely. And like as somebody that was up there for the draft, it's such a small town feel that owns a football team. I find it very fascinating. I really enjoyed my time up there. And like I said, Lambeau Field, I was in awe of it. I was in awe sitting there.
There's like few stadiums in football. There's probably only maybe 2 or 3 stadiums left, right? That you're just like, man, legends of legends of legends of legends have played here. Soldier Field in Chicago, Lambeau Field, and like that might be it. Like those 2 in football, and then in baseball you have Wrigley Field, Fenway Park, like Dodger Stadium. Like there's very few even in baseball that are left like quite like that. That you're just like, man, there's so much historic aspect to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing when you walk through that whole building and there's like lights and everything. It's like you're transported to back in time. Like it's just kept so immaculate. Now, like if you looked really hard above the brass lights and everything that they still have there is the LED lights and whatnot, but they disguised them really well to make it look like you're back in the early 1900s. It's really amazing. And of course, I went to Titletown and saw the first cleats, and it's freaking just awesome. I freaking love it. I loved everything about it. I found something very interesting though. I found a decent amount of detractors to Jordan Love. Is that something I don't understand? I was like, are you kidding me? I would take Jordan Love in an instant. Like without question. Is that something just passed around, or is that? I don't know. It was just really weird to be up there in Green Bay and hear people be dissatisfied.
Yeah, I think that's just like any fan base, right? Like any fan base has somebody that they're all kind of torn on. He especially struggles a little bit early on. He had too many interceptions last year, so just like every fan base, you're gonna have guys that 3 or 4 guys that some people that are, not fit. Like, I don't really like this guy. He stinks, he does this and this. And then you're going to have guys that are like, hey, I think the kid's good. Like, I don't know how good he's going to be, but like, he's been pretty well. Like he's better than some. So I think you're going to have that in every family. Right. You're going to have that, I'm sure you see that in Tennessee all the time. There'll be guys that are Cam Ward lovers and Cam Ward haters. I'm sure. So you'll see. I'm sure, like just like Ryan Tannehill, right? Like there was people that supported Tanny, and there was there.
Oh, sure.
Other people thought he was worse.
Sign him back, guys. We made a mistake.
Yeah, and then there's guys that probably hated him. I think that's any fan base. So like Jordan struggles a little bit early on in the season. Does have too many turnovers that cost us. So I think that's where that kind of comes from.
Yeah, I think so. It's almost like the tone was very much like, well, he better do better this year. He better, do this year or whatnot. I was like, I think he's done great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? It was just kind of weird to encounter that. And whatnot.
It could be worse. It could be a hell of a lot worse.
Right. I don't know. Some of it was like posturing. Like, we're the Green Bay Packers. You have to be elite. There is no.
I mean, we did have like 40 years here of like, we did have like 40 years of like Hall of Fame quarterback play. So
quarterback excellence.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Like maybe that's just part of it. Okay. And I will gracefully in that off-season football talk with you, get you out of there. But I will say one more question. Are you excited that they took a wide receiver in the first round? You're an interesting cat to where you're like the draft and everything, you kind of just bypass it or whatnot. But was that enough to get on your radar at all? That they took Golden in the first?
Yeah. I hope he plays well, pants out. So like the reason I say like I don't it's not that I don't care, but I like the draft itself as far as like, I like
Sure.
to see who gets drafted, who goes where, right? But what I don't like, I'm not going to
Right.
spend my fucking time and effort in just bullshit. Like, they don't, is this guy going to go here? Are we going to go here? Who's going to draft? 5 teams are linked to this player. Like, nobody really knows, you know what I mean? And it's all going to play out. So I just don't, in Green Bay, especially, it doesn't really matter. Like like they're not going to draft. This is the first year where it's like we finally got somebody we really wanted, But it's just like every year for Green Bay,
Right.
they're not drafting the guy that I want. I'm not so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to root for whoever they draft anyway,
Sure. Right. Yeah. No. Totally. I get it. I run into some like craziness and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm happy with Golden. We'll see how.
I'm happy to hear it.
We needed him. It's the first time we drafted a wide receiver since Javon Walker out of Florida way back in the day. He didn't really pan out. So hopefully Golden has a better career than Javon Walker. But everybody for all the not drafted in the first round, we've had success drafting a lot of great receivers in the second round. Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, like all those guys, Randall Cobb, like all those guys were like in the second or third round. So it's like Jaden Reed was the second round. You know what I mean? So it's like just because it's the first round doesn't really matter. There's only 32 spots. You know what I mean? So, if you take a guy in the second round and he's just as good as the guy in the first round, who cares when you took him?
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get you. And that's always the fun, exciting part. I've become in my Titans fandom rather dulled down with quarterbacks taken. So it's always funny to me. And I'm not I would say extremely high on Cam Ward. I feel a little bit better about him now that he's here and I've heard him talk and do his things.
Just can't say your boy's his favorite receiver, the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally can't do that. It's just tanked him for me. But no, it's a lot of somebody brought it up to me. He goes, "You know what you are, Sam? Marcus Mariota hurt you bad. That's what happened." And he's right. I was that was the last time I was excited about a quarterback. Like I was like, yes, here we freaking go. And he was, just not the
guy. Hindsight,
he was not a starter in the NFL.
In hindsight, just think about this because remember, Chip Kelly became the Eagles head coach, and he was willing to give up the farm for Marcus Mariota. Just think the Titans, they should have hindsight's 2020, right? And most people might have said, not to do the trade, or maybe said the Eagles shouldn't do the trade, but he was willing to give up, everything under the sun for Marcus Mariota. Like the Titans should have pulled the trigger if you know what I mean. I don't know how that all kind of I can't remember how that went down. Yeah, but just think how the pass of the franchises would have took, and you know what I mean, had that trade happened.
I mean, it's nothing really spectacular what went down. We needed a quarterback, and we were in the first 2 picks. So
no, I'm saying
one of them was getting taken.
If they would have gave up the farm, right? The Eagles give you
they should have taken.
That's what I'm saying. That sliding 100%. Glass door, if you accept it of that trade, and you get 5 first-round picks or 4 first-round picks, a second, and a player, and then they get Marcus Mariota, and he doesn't pan out well in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? And then it's what the Titans would have done with all those picks is what I'm saying. Like that sliding glass door had they accepted that trade.
That's the stuff that'll keep you up at night. It's some of those things that you stare up at a ceiling fan revolving over your head. You sleep in your bed.
It's. I always like to think about those things. Like, what if this would have happened? Because
sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we always ask. People always ask, let's say Dyson makes the touchdown in the Super Bowl, right? And then you're going for 2 in the win. And Jeff Fisher, emphatically is no, we're tying the game. Why would we take the risk? It took everything we had to get down there. We get the touchdown, and you kick the field goal, and you put your elite defense on, on Warner and keep going. And people are like, no, you wouldn't, Jeff. And he's like, yes, I would. Yes, I would, 100%. But yeah, I totally get the sliding glass door. Okay, now I've gotten us out of the NFL offseason. I did it for you, Nick. I got us out of here. Okay, so you start the podcast. I've always appreciated how like natural it was for you. It's been a long way to get me to where I am now. But when did you just like? Were you just kind of like me and Dan reached out to you, RIP legend Dan, for the Let's Talk Sports Network, and then
that's pretty much.
Yeah, you handle it very well. So like, I'm asking people their favorite Pop-Tart flavors. You know.
So. This is kind of how it happened. I get like, I've always been a natural talker, just like the gift of gab. I've always been able to talk about sports with anybody. And then I've always kind of wanted to do a podcast, and then like I just never could like pull the trigger. My wife was like kind of pushing towards me to do it. And then Dan, it was like just a sign. I was scrolling on Twitter, and I wasn't very big on Twitter at the time, like, or it wasn't even like, not even like Twitter wasn't even like an app I was using a lot. Like I just, whatever day picked up it and was like, I saw Dan Harris's, anybody wants to talk sports, like, let me know, and then I joined this, it was like a collab group, and like, everybody's kind of like talking about their podcast, and I didn't even have like a podcast. I was just there to talk. And,
right.
And Tanner was on that, shout out to Tanner. He was on there, and a couple other guys. And I was like, I got done, was like, man, I could easily do this. Like, that's all it is. Like, and then Dan kind of put it together a little bit, and kept having me on. I was like, I'm going to start my own show. Tanner helped me out with that a lot, and away we went.
Hey, I love it. Hey, that's
3 years
got started as well. Only
3 years deep now.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow, 3 years. I kind of cut my teeth on you guys talking to the LTS show while I blankly stared at the screen and wondered, my God, what are we going to talk about? But like, I kind of learned just by watching, like you had talked about the Pat McAfee show, and I had watched Pat McAfee, but then like I really started like diving in to like how casual the conversation was. Didn't really feel like an interview, and that really helped me. Watching you guys doing all that stuff helped me really get started. But when you're doing the, sorry, my wife's coming up the stairs with my food, and she's like, she just rolled it across the floor. Anyway, sorry. She just threw a grenade like frag out across the floor. It's a Jimmy John sandwich, just flew over the floor. Anyway, so thank God they wrapped those. Thank you, dear. But yeah, it's so interesting, and especially now because it's almost like the rise of the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're all getting kind of decent play now. I got like $12 from Facebook for having decent viewership, and I'm like, this is weird. What do you mean $12? What did I do? Did somebody overpay me or something? Is this some sort of reimbursement? But yeah, so it's very interesting, this whole like podcast on the rise. But I would argue that you've been pretty successful because you started getting like people to interview with and whatnot, right?
I mean, I've had success. I've had like a couple fighters here and there. I've had just random people. Some of that Dan helped me out with at first, like early on, like he would get the guest and like would help me out. And then I would just DM people and just ask people like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? I'd love to have you on my podcast.
Sure.
And then that's just kind of how it is. Like, so I just try to, that's how I wouldn't say I'm successful at it. I just, one out of every 50 people probably that I've asked, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no. But I mean, like, I think that's the key though, is like repetitiveness. You know what I mean? Like,
just
stacking.
I just hit a DM on Twitter or Instagram, just, whether it's a comedian, some sort of artist, be like, hey, I'd love to have you on my podcast sometime. And then Yeah, well, I mean, some of them see it and they don't say
man,
nothing, and then some of them they say something back, or
right.
that's good, like I'd love to. So yeah.
What if Antonio Brown answers back though? I'd be like, I don't know, Nick. This is a dangerous one, bud.
I would
Like, be
never.
careful out there.
I don't know. I would never not have anybody on. I don't think.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. That I get it. But man, like people send him.
I'll
like,
never
messages
pay.
all the
I'll
time on
never.
Twitter and, like, take
I'll
pictures
never
of
pay
it.
anybody to come on. I just don't believe in that. Like that's always been like, no matter what
Right.
and maybe that goes back to like I've heard. And I'm not obviously Pat McAfee or somebody like that nature, or they don't have to pay nobody. But like,
Right.
I'm just in my brain. I'm
Free
like I'm never like.
Yeah.
You either want to come on and talk to me or you don't. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. Like, so. That's I'll never pay for anybody. I don't, what I mean? I'm not gonna pay for something. I'm not gonna pay you to talk to me. Like that's fucking dumb.
Uh-oh.
Oh, can you hear me?
The internet just flipped out.
I'm good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, the internet just yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Everything stopped for me too, so I was like, uh-oh.
You were like real.
But yeah, no, I can hear you. Sorry.
You're real slow. You was like slow, like you were like real slow there for a second.
Wow. It's all the Twizzlers you ate with the stuff inside. Yeah, it's made you think. But yeah, no, I've always like admired that you've gotten people to come in and interview. I started doing it. I nobody's bitten back yet, but
yeah,
I'm going to keep on chugging along.
Now, and it goes back to what you were saying. It's like the boom of the podcast. So everybody's got a fucking podcast. Half the athletes got a fucking podcast. Sure. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
well,
I can't even fucking. It's hard to DM people. Like they're probably getting 1,000 DMs too, and then and then they're probably getting mixed in with all the fucking bots and fucking scams that I already get fucking, you know what I mean, that you fucking get flooded with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I always, I made the mistake of like clicking on Twitter and saying, someone's trying to message you. And I opened it up and it was just a folder of people asking for me to pay for their art or some, could you send me an iPhone gift card or whatever? But the I'm sure she's just like her picture too, just like her.
She just lives 3 houses down from you.
Oh yeah, I just think 3 houses. Oh cool, come on over. No, I'm okay. Anyway, so how did you get into this like UFC thing? Because I feel like that's like a major like get. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot. I mean, I know there's UFC podcasts out there. But I don't think there's as many.
No, it's not. It's definitely not, and that's what's. I've been able to create a space for myself. I feel like in that in the MMA
carved
world.
It out.
Yeah, I'm and still can carve. Number one, it's kind of small. It's not like football. It's not. It's mainstream, and there's a lot, but it's not. It's kind of It's not as watered down as football and the NFL or basketball probably. Because it's like it's a niche, and it's a niche sport. It's a niche fan base. So like, man, so to be honest with you, I was always kind of like a casual like MMA fan. Like I used to work at a bar, so we'd always kind of catch the fights here and there. And then during the pandemic, it was the only fucking sport on, and I really so like that's when I would say like I really fell in love with it and like did like a deep dive into all things MMA and have just like. Really kicked it in. So, and it really, like you're a wrestling fan, I'm a wrestling fan. So it's so much like the personalities and things like that. There's guys trying to play heels and faces, right? Like, there really is like, it's like bigger or larger than life, and then so like you get, and then you listen to like their backstories and how they became a fighter. And then you start liking them because of that, because of what they're doing or who they are. And then, so, and it's simple. It's with my busy life. It's easy to follow because it's like, just like for the NFL, it's one day a week. It's Saturday night, for the most part. And then, so that's kind of how that happened. And just like anything else, I love talking about it. So, might as well start a podcast. And the thing of it is like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so you have to find the right people and, so but yeah, it's been pretty successful and a lot of fun.
Hey, I love to hear it. Yeah, no, I try to stick with it and enjoy it. I kind of dipped my waters into it because my brother-in-law is a big UFC fan. I just didn't want to sound like a total jagoff, like talking to him about it. Like, yeah, you know. But yeah, it's always cool to see somebody like living it out, and I think it's awesome because you seem to be that guy that can just be like, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. And so far, you're easy to watch and it's enjoyable. Yeah, I'll take it. And you're absolutely right about like finding your like the right co-hosts and stuff like that because it's like you see some of these people and they just get guys that are like, wow,
some
deer in the headlights.
Yeah. I don't want to shit on people, but like
no,
just, you know what I mean. There, some people aren't as good, or they, you know what I mean. They're just not. They can't talk as well, or they're not. Some of it's also like my thing is like I want it to be, kind of. I want it to be you're being entertained a little bit and easy to understand. Like that's how, you know what I mean. I can break it down to like you're not talking over people's heads, you know.
Right. No, yeah, totally. Aaron Jordan in the chat. Speaking of UFC, which NFL teams do you guys think will completely dominate this season?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
I got a feeling about the Rams. I think the Rams are going to have a great year. I don't know why.
I mean, they got a team, right? They went and got Devontae. To go with Luka. They still got Matt Stafford. That defense came on. To dominate, though, I still think you got to watch out for the Eagles. Like they brought everybody back. They paid everybody. You know, you still have to say the fucking Chiefs. Like until Patrick Mahomes isn't in this league no more.
Right.
You know, I think that's another two. Like those two. Like I'm not saying they're going to win it all over again, but like those teams, like I very easily dominate. They're not the greatest divisions either, right? Like the AFC, the AFC West is getting better, but the NFC East is, not very good either. But we'll see what the Commanders like. What year two with Jaden Daniels is he going to be in a sophomore slump like we saw with C.J. Stroud a little bit, or is he going to continue? Is he going to progress this year? So with the Commanders, but I would say right now, I mean, you still got to say the Eagles and the Chiefs to like be completely dominant teams,
the powerhouses. Yeah, no, I think you kind of have to. You're right. I don't know. I kind of look around this, and it's been a weird league the last couple of years. It's been an odd league. Like the guys that you think are going to dominate still dominate, but there's so much guys you thought would be better that aren't better. And like people, I mean, all I heard was about how the Cardinals were really going to open it up this year, and they just kind of didn't. And back and forth, and like. It's kind of like I've got a bad feeling about the 49ers. I've got a bad feeling about the Seahawks. Like I would love something to happen, like because I kind of feel like Sam Darnold really benefited from KOC. Really benefited from, and the Seahawks are like, yeah, come on in, buddy, let's do.
Yeah, this. I don't really know if that's like an upgrade, right? From Geno to Sam, from Sam, to Sam Darnold. I don't really know if you upgraded all that well.
Maybe a deeper thrower, but not much.
And then you lost DK Metcalf all at the same time.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and it's like, people, we always keep asking if the Steelers are going to have this down year that we keep expecting, and then they keep kind of overachieving almost every single time.
They're all in though, right? You make the trade for Aaron Rodgers. You go get Aaron
Rodgers. They went for it.
You go get Jalen Ramsey. Yeah.
All right. That'll be my last question. Is it just kind of like, when people talk about Aaron Rodgers, do you like have any tug of your heartstrings at all? Like is there anything inside of you? Because like, I was trying to think of a similar thing with me. Cortland Finnegan, right? Cortland Finnegan was a hero in Nashville, still is. And then he like fucked with Andre Johnson and got his butt kicked. But that's how he played the game. They called him the Gnat for a reason or whatnot. But like, is there any kind of like defense mechanism? Because I will go, yeah, that guy was trouble. But like inside, I'm like, you're not allowed to make fun of my guy. What's wrong with you? Like,
I wouldn't say like I'm always going to be a Aaron Rodgers like truther, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I you know what I mean.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Like he's
Yeah,
going in.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
4-time
easily.
MVP, won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean. And then he
Yeah.
just couldn't quite get back there. Hopefully, I'm always going to root for him. Like if he even like unless he's playing Green Bay, I'm always going to root for him. I always want to see him do well. Um, he does get some fucking hate. You know what I mean? Like that's
Boy,
just.
does he ever? Does he
But
ever?
people, yeah. People are going to hate on him because they just for whatever reason, with politics, he does fucking ayahuasca, he does this and that. I don't really care what you do off the field as long as you're not fucking murdering people. Who cares? Just you know what I mean. I care what you do in the field, and I've never heard a teammate really say bad things about him. He seems to talk highly of his teammates and put in work and take care of people. So I think that's what matters. There's a lot of hate and back and forth this year, I think, because there was like, oh, he's gonna retire. He's like holding everybody hostage. But he told the Steelers like, hey, this is my plan. You're either good with this or you're not. So he was kind of upfront with everybody. I think it's a little different. I've heard people like say it's the same as Aaron or Brett Favre. It's a little different. Brett Favre retired twice. You know what I mean? And they came back twice. So Aaron never retired. Never said, hey, never had a press conference. Never said, I'm done. I'm retiring or anything like that. He just said, I'm just going to take some time. So, you know what I mean? Like he never, where Brett physically, and they went and got him. I remember they were sitting at, everybody else was sitting on his front lawn. And what's her name? Aaron Andrews, I think, sitting on his front lawn for 2-3 summers every year. So,
Yeah, no, totally. It stinks like during the off season because as soon as all of that started up, I was like, gee, I know what the podcasts are going to be saying.
Oh yeah.
And it was just all of it all at once. And I was like, I'm going to skip some of the podcasts this week.
Yeah.
Just go on to the next one. Then I ended up skipping the next 3 podcasts because that's all that happened. So I had to listen to it, but whatever. But yeah, I always get so aggravated with this. They're like, this has been the plan all along. And then I'm like, then why, Ian Rappaport, didn't you say anything? Why didn't anybody say anything? Like, it drives me crazy. Oh, yeah, there was never any doubt. Sure, but you just did like 8 weeks full of NFL shows.
Yeah.
Where you're saying, oh, wait, no one knows what's going to happen. If you knew the whole time, freaking say it. Like, gee whiz. What's your guys' expectation of Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers? How many wins?
I think 9 wins in a playoffs.
Playoff berth, snicking. I had him at 10, maybe.
9 10 wins. They can make the playoffs. They got to win a playoff game though. Like they've been making the playoffs, so like they got to win a playoff game. So
it's going to be interesting. That AFC North is just so fun to watch every year. There's always something going on.
I think it'll become between them and the Ravens. I mean, the Bengals, I love Joe Burrow, but they have no defense. No defense.
None.
They're going to have to win 65-66,
Yeah, they just – I don't know what they're doing. This whole Trey Hendrickson thing, that's a rough read. That's a rough read. If you're like – what if you're like the PR for that team? Like, what are you going to say? Like, what can you say? Like, this is bad. It's a bad look all the way around. There's just no way of dealing with it or anything. Mr. Nick, you're a busy man. You're a busy man. So what you got coming up? What shows do we have coming up? I know you and I and the boys are getting back together next Thursday. Yeah.
So we'll have a full slate for you. So this Sunday you can check me out on the Bodkins show right here, 8 a.m. Central Time every Sunday morning. Me and my guy Johnny Cruz just kind of talk about life, sports, whatever it is that we want to talk about that happened in the last week, and then Wednesdays you can catch the MMA show, Head Kicks and Haymakers, and then Thursdays it'll be season 3 of the LTS show. So.
Here we go, baby. Jumping right in.
So season 3 of the Let's Talk Sports show, and we'll be doing that. Talking all NFL.
I like it. I'm ready to roll, ready to talk about divisions. Go ahead and get open. I'm ready for it to happen. I'm ready for it to happen. Nick, thank you so much for coming on, bud. I greatly appreciate it. Always a
Anytime,
time.
brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite. And
hey, no problem.
So,
yeah, hey, man, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You can catch me on the LTS show next Thursday, and I think I'm a guest on another podcast. I'll post about it because I can't remember it right now. I've been a guest on 3 of them this offseason. Guess there's other poor bastards trying to do what I'm trying to do. But anyway, and you can catch Fanboys Unleashed next Friday, 8:30 p.m. Central, with another great guest. For Sam Dean, aka Mr. First Down, Nick Bodkins himself from the Bodkins Show, and Head Kicks and Haymakers, we will see you some other time in the future.